Aye.
Ready to call the Warwick County Solid Waste Management District meeting to order. Today is October 16th, 2025. It's noon. And the first order of business is roll call.
Terry Philippi,
I'm here.
Sarah Seaton. Here. Stacy Franz. Here. Greg Richmond.
Here.
Tracy Matthews. Here. Charlie Wyatt. Jim Miller.
Here.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like there's not any public here except for one of our consultants, and he has his place on the agenda. So the next order of business is approval of minutes from September.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from September.
Second.
Any changes or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The record needs to reflect that Sarah is appearing via audio and video. I forgot to
Council.
mention that during roll.
It is on Google Meet.
Okay, Reagan, approval of claims.
Claims this month are $187,715.34. And
There is a correction, a label only on page 1, third from the bottom. It says 4J's Hardware. It should be Express Employment Services.
I have marked that on the copy you will sign, and I'll correct it in my system.
Good catch, Greg. Anything else?
Motion approved?
And that would be subject to the correction.
Yes.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And council, do you have anything before he comes up? We're ready for you.
I do not.
Okay.
Hello again.
Good afternoon.
Kevin Allen with Aegis. We're helping you get this phase 2 electrical out to bid on the solid waste recycling center. You know, we had a power issue, power shortfall out there, and we have the specs, drawings, and everything ready to go, providing Adam or Freddie doesn't find something amiss. I just saw this resolution, so I was looking at it. Couple things that brought to my attention just a moment ago that were changed from the first revision, and it's because we looked at this and I think we cut about 300 pages of boilerplate legal ease out of it because it's a smaller project and a single trade type of work. So we simplified that, and that did change one criteria that the contractor is going to pull a lot of their permits versus the engineer filing a lot of permits. One that we will still file with the state fire and building Department of Homeland Services. We will still be filing that one. Other than that, brought this along. This is how the package will go out. All the front end legal contracts, the technical specifications here, and then 11 by 17s of all the electrical drawings. I didn't know how many of these I wanted to bring, and I thought, well, I can email this whole package easier than printing 10 of them out.
Thanks.
You also should have got our engineer's estimate. And we have a very tight schedule, but we can still get this out before the end of the year. I think we can award Is that what it said, Adam? Award? I don't have the schedule in front of me.
November 25th would be an award date. Advertising, two separate advertisements going out on the 24th, which I think he's meaning that we send out the two advertisements, but they're sent at the same time, but they're advertised in two different instances, two separate instances within consecutive papers. Bid opening would be November 20th. The award date would be November 25th, which would require a special meeting. And then we'd have the agreement back from the contractor, deadline be December 11th. Executed contract with a notice to proceed anticipated to be December 18th. June 12th, substantial completion. July 10th, final completion.
There were two things that we needed to bring to your attention. And they are, we will have to provide you with, or provide CenterPoint with an easement for the new transformer. We'll get our survey crew down here. It'd be about $4,500 for the easement work to get that approved by CenterPoint to set the new transformer. I think we can do that under your on-call if you approve that.
And historically speaking, CenterPoint sent us the easement language for the easements that they wanted, and the easements have to be approved by the commissioners. We don't have the authority to grant the easement. So I think I copied you on an email that I sent to the commissioner board members that indicated that, and to put it on their radar, that an easement's going to be coming. But is it CenterPoint telling you that they have to do it, or you have to do it?
Licensed land surveyor has to do those.
Well, CenterPoint surveyors typically would do it.
As long as we know it needs to be done.
Yeah.
I've got a fee that from my guys that we can do it quickly. If CenterPoint says we can't do it for 60 days, I don't think we want to wait on them. So put that on my checkup list.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing that's helped us with this is from the time, last time I was here, and we were really worried about lead time on the transformer and on the big 2,000 amp load center. They fell out of the sky. They are readily available. I think one of the things that we did to propose to Adam to accelerate this is to authorize the purchase payment to CenterPoint for the transformer, which I think they came back and said they're going to waive that because you're going to be using so much power that they're going to make money off of it. So that leaves the pre-purchase of the 2,000 amp load center so that we can get that on moving prior to waiting for the contractor to do it once they get the bid.
Well, and this is, so just so the board is aware, I had a conversation and trying to accelerate the timeline. I had the conversation with Chris Kaufman, and I believe you were on the call, if my memory's right. And that's one of the reasons why I invited Sherry to come today. So Sherry and Freddie may be able to work in tandem with respect to trying to source using some of the things, the discounted providers that are available to government entities to try and source some of these materials directly. And not only that, be able to spend $25 budgeted dollars in 2025. So that way we're not waiting on a contractor that just gets the bid that's approved in December, or the contract's approved in December. They're not ordering it until 26, and we're not getting invoiced till 26.
Makes sense.
And so, yeah, there are a handful of things, and I think that Chris and Kevin have a list of the things that they want us to source separately from the bid packet, because the bid packet has specs. So it's like you need item X, and item X gets installed. Well, we're supplying item X.
Correct. So I believe that on this, I believe that was the switch. Yeah, the switchboard pre-purchase, which is the $107,000. So I'm not.
So what time would we get so that we know what we have to do as far as funding?
I'm sorry.
How much lead time would we get, or, you know, is there a time frame that says you've got to purchase it by this time?
I think that's what Adam just said, that if it falls back, if we can do this and still spend $25.
We have to have this meeting on that day
We can make it any day we want.
because I know I'm working that day. So that's
Unavailable working.
unavailable working, yeah.
Is that correct, Adam?
I believe that to be correct. Basically, it's like, and just use a different term, like, let's say that the construction job you have requires a 2025 Chevy Silverado in order to do the job. We're going to say, we're giving you that truck. We've already bought it. So the bid specs will say that. So that's,
I've got that part.
yeah.
What I'm wanting to make sure of is that she has time to make sure that we can cut the check and all that good stuff and come out of what we have allocated.
Which and we've talked about that.
Yeah.
That'll be part of what we were planning on encumbering for the project next year, that we won't have to encumber. It'll be able, if we do it this year, we'll be able to spend it
Yeah.
out of this year's budget rather than encumbering it for next year.
We're going to spend it this year.
So let me bring this up, throw a stake in your spokes here for you.
I mean,
The auditor has talked about not doing encumbrance this year.
Okay.
So how does that play?
We're a separate entity. So we report entirely separate from I don't turn anything into the auditor.
Okay.
So all my encumbrances and everything I do come before you guys and come before this board.
Yeah.
And I report all of those for solid waste under the solid waste logins of Gateway and everything like that to the state and to State Board of Accounts.
Okay.
So I do everything completely separate.
Actually done something new today.
In discussions that I had with Chris and Kevin, with Reagan, the idea is that Aegis's idea of pulling long lead time things out of the bid package and us going out and using the purchasing statutes to buy the spec'd items, we can go ahead and try and execute those immediately using 2025 budgeted dollars in 25 without encumbrance. And then whatever's left over to pay the remainder of the project, we would encumber and then pay in 2026. So hopefully we can have a list of these things ready for Sherry and Freddie to take a look at. Like, I mean, I think the list exists. We just have to figure out from who they can be sourced.
Okay, I'll see if I can get Joe Sims Electric to produce that source list. I think we've got all the items, but a source list is,
I think there were like 3 things on there and one of them was the transformer, but thankfully that's coming off.
well, yeah, and this is talking to CenterPoint is we're playing back and forth with them and it drives you nuts. Source list of pre-purchase quote. Okay. I think that covers the comments and questions I had for the board at this time. Anything back for me?
Randy's got
I
something.
have a question.
Sure.
During all this, once this all starts up, and we start the installing it,
Mhm.
are we going to be shut down? And if so, for how long?
I'll try and get Joe on a phone call with you in the morning to answer that question. I think the way he has this set up, you won't be, but I don't want to speak for him.
It's kind of hard if you got to disconnect and put these things in
Well,
to not shut
To
down.
rephrase that, there may be one day where they move from the old transformer, energize the new one, and throw that switch. But I don't want to speak to that. That's Joe's area of expertise, and he's been the one in conversation with CenterPoint.
Okay,
Okay, I will try to get that phone call tomorrow. What's your availability?
appreciate it.
What would be best of your availability tomorrow for a phone call?
Anytime after 5 o'clock.
Okay,
Also, just as a heads up, I believe Renewable Resources is tied to that same transformer. So if there is a shutdown period, it needs to be coordinated through them.
Mhm.
Not being on my transformer.
There was something about and maybe they just dropped a line that went next to the transformer, but I remember when they built that facility, they had to come through where that transformer is, and it just makes me worried that they're connected to it.
They have a firebox out across the road from them.
They do too? Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Not
I
wanting
wanna-
to say,
yeah.
not wanting to sound like I don't want to be responsible for it, but it's not starting to be CenterPoint's problem.
it could be. I just want to make sure that, if we think it could happen, we try to
Sure, we have
alert
that
people to it. I spoke with Jordan Eigner about it. It had to be 16 months ago. And I think that he either assumed based on what I said, or he is assuming just in his own mind that he was tied to it as well.
That's a question we need to have with Joe and CenterPoint and me and you.
Not necessarily.
The meter you can have more than one meter coming off a transformer.
Okay. Okay. So I've got check on the 709A. I think we've done that. CenterPoint's easement, pre-purchase, get the source list, call with Freddie and Joe tomorrow morning. Would you like to be included?
Yeah, and I'll give you my card.
Okay. We usually do these on Teams calls. Adam, Reagan, would you want to be on that call?
I'm actually off tomorrow. Freddie
Okay.
can fill me in.
Let me look. What time are you thinking?
I've not even spoke, I'll call Joe on the way back and get a time, but Freddie says we'll try for tomorrow morning first. And I know the time changed, so sometime after 9 o'clock your time or 10 o'clock our time.
I probably have 9:30 open for some reason. I have a half-hour appointment set at 9, so I could do 9:30, then I have a 10, and then I'm on the road after that.
Okay.
That's Central Time, of course.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't have any questions for Kevin. I can update just so the board is aware. They have provided us with, I believe you'd best call it like preliminary drafts of these bid documents that have been tweaked. I think the most recent version was October 9th, and then they've been revised, I think, in between then and now to shorten the document as well as reduce the timetable. If the board members have any questions on any of that, that's fine, but I don't have any questions at this time.
I will forward this to you as soon as I sit down.
Do we need to approve this today?
We probably won't,
Okay.
but we can.
Doesn't matter. I just want to make sure we didn't miss it.
Yeah, we won't. I think we'll bring that up later. It's not.
They've got it under
Yeah,
yours.
it's down
Okay.
under my.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate all your assistance in getting this done.
Thank you.
Okay, Reagan.
We ended the month of September with $4,425,283.94. And the first thing I have on the agenda is a PTO sellback. I brought it up, I think, in August. And as I'm bringing it up, Greg, I am realizing you, I believe, printed your packet, so it may not be in there. I brought it up at the August meeting, discussed it with Adam. Our handbook states that it has to go in front of the county council. Our handbook reads that it needs to go to Crystal Palace, the council administrator, and to HR. It needs to be requested in writing between October 1st and 31st. When this was passed in our handbook, it wasn't something solid waste had ever done before. So we didn't take a close look at it. Now that we have someone, myself, who is, has the ability to do it. We're taking a closer look at it and realizing that we haven't done it and not really sure how to handle it. So in talking with Adam, I contacted Crystal and she said it does not need to go in front of the council. So I've also sent it to HR and talking with Adam. I did put it in writing. I've got the emails attached there with Crystal, her saying that it does not need to go in front of council, and filled out the form that the handbook states we need to fill out. The notes at the bottom of the form state that it needs to go to the auditor, so that really doesn't apply to solid waste. But it's requesting for 80 hours of PTO sellback, the gross amount of $2,123.81 for myself.
How much is it again?
$2,123.81.
I think based upon the circumstances, Reagan's assessment's correct. This is a situation where we typically had followed the county's handbook and tailored it towards the district, but as it would relate to the sellback, at that point in time, we had no employees of 20 years. It was something that was, I guess, just kind of, I don't know, want to necessarily say it slipped through the cracks. It just wasn't something that was top of mind because the district historically always wants to mirror what the county does. That way there's at least some uniformity within county government divisions or departments or entities. But I believe her assessment also to be further correct in the fact that there are some protocols that the county may have to follow that we do not. So if a board member is inclined to approve her request to sell back the PTO, I believe that could be done. But as a component of that, it should be also moved that the provision requiring reporting of Form 144 to the auditor and the council is not required, and that the any employee wanting to do so would just submit the request directly to the board and actually provide all the same information that Reagan provided. Everything that she put on there, I believe, is very informative and explains it. That Form 144 is kind of like a square peg trying to be shoved into a round hole. It doesn't even indicate a line for how much time you're trying to sell back. It's it's a strange form. I wouldn't even know why you would use it in that instance. But like I said, if a board member wanted to, you could do so. You could suspend the requirement for reporting to the auditor and council and just have them report to the board, and that Reagan's request would be approved.
Okay. Anyone?
So moved. Second.
As stated by council.
Yes, as stated by council. Yes, I'm not going to repeat that.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed?
I have
Motion
a question.
Sure.
Why does the salary ordinance say 55219?
Is that what she makes for you?
This is what, she just passed out to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's different from the 21, 23.
That's how much she makes a year, I think. And then this is how much she wants to sell back. It's just 2 weeks, right?
Oh, I just pulled the one that she
Okay,
emailed out.
that's your annual salary, the 55219.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
And you're just selling back the 80 hours.
Just the 80, yeah. Yeah, this form didn't fit for the 80 hours, but this is what the handbook says we're supposed to use was this form.
Okay, yeah.
So, and Crystal had sent this form out with budget earlier this year. So that's how I got the form, but it does not fit for this situation at
Okay.
all.
Yeah, the line item the council gets always, it's like an additional amount or something, and then they only list the additional amount on that.
Okay,
That's
okay.
what was confusing to me. I'm
That's
sorry.
a good PTO.
I thought we were going to give you back 55.
No, just the 80 hours.
Reagan does?
I'm putting PTO on my next attorney contract.
Really? Reagan, I didn't realize I was that old.
What?
It said, because I kept going, it says eligible employees with 20 or more years of service, and I go, she's not that old. And I said, no, well, you know,
I
back when
started
you were in,
the year
in
I
high school
graduated
classes.
school. Yeah.
you know, like I didn't realize I was that old.
Okay, so I had a first and a second. We had affirmative votes. Did anybody oppose? No. Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Okay, the next thing is special events. We had our the paper shredding event on October 3rd, I believe it was, and our e-waste event on October 4th. The paper shredding event, they filled up 6.5 of their big totes. Piranha Mobile Shredding did. We partner with them twice a year for that. It was a very successful event. And the e-waste event, for our first one, it was the first event that Solid Waste has held without partnering with anyone and and the first event we've held at our recycling center. We had 178 cars come through in 4 hours. It was very successful. Even despite it being on the same day as the Square Flare, I was a little concerned about that. But we still had a really successful event. We had filled up 26 Gaylords and 24 skids, and these skids were piled high with flat screen TVs. So we had, I believe, they came in with 3 of their box trucks. 3 box trucks. The driver of the box trucks said equivalent to 1 semi-load of electronics that went out of there. We checked IDs for every person that came in, and every person, we didn't have to turn one person away. Everybody was a Warwick County resident. So it was a very successful event, and everybody was very happy that we offered it this year. So it was very well received by the public. So just wanted to share that. We have not received an invoice for that yet. So I'm anxiously awaiting that. I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, because we had a really good turnout. So I just wanted to share that. Next thing I have on the agenda is CNI. That's the company that picked up all the electronics from us. They, in dropping off the Gaylords the day before the event and then coming back the Monday after the event to pick everything up, we had some of the recycling containers outside that we used for the small business recycling program. 215, is that right? That you counted? 215 is what Freddie counted that we have on our properties, currently empty and not being utilized. CNI is interested in purchasing some of these containers. We want to keep not a lot of them. We want to keep some of them for the program to use for potentially other things in the future. We don't want to sell all of them. CNI they mentioned it when they dropped the material off, and then someone from CNI contacted me interested in purchasing some of these and purchasing them in a way of giving us a credit to our account towards this event, essentially, is what they were talking about doing. So price, Freddie and I discussed it. If the board would approve, let me find my notes here, with having 215 of them, which is, we discussed 100. Is that what we discussed? Oh, it's right here. With keeping 115 of them, but potentially selling CNI 100 of them. I mean, we have a garage full at Chandler that we've never even used, that have never even been used. We started purchasing them in 2011 and continued purchasing them through 2016. So some of them are pretty old. We paid on an average, the price ranged in that time frame, on an average $335 a piece for them. Depending on if we purchased lids with them or not, there was about a $15 to $25 range in the price. We're wanting to sell them to CNI for $60 without a lid, $75 with a lid, if they wanted the lid. In doing that, that would pay for a good chunk of credit towards that event that we just held. I went back and looked at Vanderburgh County. Vanderburgh County usually does 4 semis of, our event was held on the same day that Vanderburgh County's e-waste event was held. The gentleman from CNI had told me that they usually do 4 semi-loads out of Vanderburgh County when they hold their event, and they only did 3 this year. He said, so he thinks the fourth semi-load was at our facility. So I went back and did an average over the last 3 years of the weights that came out of there, that they held at their last 3 years at their events. With that, compared to what we had there, I don't know what the weights are yet. What I'm just guesstimating, the event will cost us between $8,000 and $10,000 is what I'm guessing. So just by looking at Vanderbilt County's numbers. So with that, if we were to sell them some of these and that credit go towards our bill, it will pay for a big chunk of that event, essentially.
The board should be aware, I was actually just pulling this up because this kind of happens from time to time. Surplus property declaration would have to be made that a certain amount of those containers are designated as surplus, but then under, I just pulled up the statute, 522.22.6, if you're doing a direct sale or a private sale, the aggregate value of multiple items can't exceed 5,000.
Okay.
So if you're selling them for 70, I mean, I'm certainly not an on the fly mathematician, but if you're selling them
It's more than
for an average of $70 a piece,
it
you
exceeds
know,
that, yeah.
if it exceeds 5,000, which I think that your math would because you wanted to sell 100 something,
Yes.
but you could make the adjustment and say,
Under.
you know, if 70 of them total $4,900, 71 is 4,970. Then yeah, I think that you'd be able to. The items would need to be declared surplus, and then a motion to approve the direct sale with the purpose of it being used as a credit against the outstanding invoice.
I'll entertain a motion first to declare the bins surplus, and it sounds like 70 of them.
70 or 100?
I mean, you could sell 100 at 50, but if they're worth more than that, I think that you could run into further problems. So I would recommend them more
can
than
we-
70.
Sell them some and then later sell them some more?
I don't think that you could do that intentionally to circumvent the statute.
Okay, all right, okay, just curious.
Do you know how many they wanted, Greg?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know how many they wanted? All of them?
They're just wanting to expand their program. So as many as we're willing to
Okay.
part with, essentially. There are a handful of them that need to be surplus to be thrown away also.
My
So
two cents is we sell them 70 at $70, if that's what you guys determined the value was. Did you discuss that with them?
I haven't yet. I just got their last email before I came here. They said depending on the price, they would be interested. So I have not shot them a price yet.
So could the motion be that we sell them the quantity necessary to stay under the $5,000, depending on what value you come up with? Because they may say, no, we only want to pay $60 for them. And then we could sell them more.
I think that conceivably, yeah, but you would probably want to have like a floor. You know, a lot of times motions are made where there's something not to exceed X. And this situation would be if Freddie and Reagan had determined that the value was 65 no lid and 75 lid, then the value wouldn't fall below the floor of 65. They could have as many as they want up to the value of 5,000 to be credited against the outstanding invoice. The purchasing statutes and the sale statutes are the same. It's supposed to be run through the purchasing agent. Technically, Freddie is our purchasing agent with Sherry's assistance. They kind of work in tandem. Again, always very helpful. But yeah, so the motion could be made to approve the sale under 522.22.6 with a floor value of the recycling containers not to fall below a certain dollar amount. And the aggregate sale price can't exceed 5,000. But I don't know if the surplus motion was moved and approved and all that. That's also still has
Let's
to
do that first. I want to entertain a motion to declare the items surplus.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Just a quick question there. So I think what we just did was declare all of them surplus, and that doesn't mean we have to get rid of them, right?
That's correct. You're only getting rid of a portion of them. I mean, some of them can be declared surplus, but we don't know what that amount is. You could, I suppose, reverse that when we know how many are left over.
Okay.
Or list them for sale. You can do however.
Okay, so now would anyone like to try and recite the motion as stated by council previously?
Just make the motion as stated.
Well, you're missing the floor dollar amount, whatever the floor would be. I mean,
And I think that would be, based on what they're having, I would say $60 would be the floor.
so it's a motion for a sale of as many as the people want for an aggregate value less than $5,000 with a floor price of $60 per unit. And the sale is being conducted under private sales statute, Indiana Code 522-226.
Thank you.
That was for
So we
Christine.
got a motion. Anyone like to second that?
Writing as fast as I can. I'll be listening to that one over here.
Second.
Okay. And all in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. That's all I've got.
It's always the easiest things that are the hardest.
A little complicated.
Okay. Freddie, you are up, sir.
Talk to you about that before
You're lucky my internet was working. I was like, what is that statute? I forgot. Dang, sorry.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. About the only thing I have really is the numbers in front of you for this month. We're still working through the contamination stuff. We're doing well. We're maintaining, which is good. It's going to fluctuate some. Sometimes we're going to push the edge, but right now we're working hard for it. We had a good month of selling materials for September, a little over 150 tons. As of me standing here right now, we have physically shipped, counting this part of October, 1,980,000 pounds. So the shipment I'll send out Monday will put us over the 2 million pound mark for the year, as far as actually shipping. So markets could be nicer, but they're not. So the shipment that'll go out Monday will be aluminum cans. Current pricing is 85 cents a pound. Where 3 months ago, it was $1.15, Reagan, $1.10, $1.15 a pound,
On which one? I'm sorry.
aluminum cans.
Yes, $1.10.
So it's on its decline. Cardboard and paper, they're not the greatest right now, and plastics has basically already tanked. To sell number ones, it's only 3 to 5 cents a pound, so we won't be selling any of that for a while. So unless there's any questions about the numbers, I'll bring Ms. Sherry up. Next thing I'd like to talk about is the baler we had spoken about last month
Getting that out.
we had talked about where we could go out to do an RFP and everything. Sherry and I had sat down and we talked about all this good stuff. And then we had a light bulb go off above both of us. That instead of going out for bids and crushing everything to try to get the RFP out, get the bids back and all that good stuff and meet all the requirements that's required, we could purchase through Sourcewell. Sourcewell, what we did was we used that to purchase our equipment for the new building. Basically, Sourcewell members, the bidding has already been done, and Sherry will go into that. but we will be getting a significant discount. It's been purchased through a specific company that's been approved through Sourcewell. And we will do direct with that one company. So Sherry, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Sherry Severs, Warrior County Acquisition Administrator. So Freddie, in the past has worked with Marathon Balers. And I believe does the Recycle Center, the Eigner family work with their products too?
Not Marathon Balers. They work with their 40-yard containers,
Okay.
their big trash 3 and 5 yard containers and stuff like that.
Okay, so Freddie in the past has worked with Marathon Products and has been very happy with it. And so while Indiana law mandates competitive bidding for purchases exceeding $150,000 for supplies and services, that has to undergo a formal sealed competitive bidding process through RFP. Freddie and I do have an RFP prepared to go out. However, Sourcewell is it's like a valuable corporation, cooperative corporation. It's owned by, I believe it's a government entity of the state of Minnesota, and it's a cooperative purchasing agreement company that allows participating governments to acquire goods and services through pre-negotiated competitive bid contracts. So what they do is they put out their own RFP for like bulk solid waste and recyclable equipment. The last one that they put out, and it's a 4-year contract, they invite 21 companies to bid, and they've got a pretty tough criteria based on 1,000 points. 20 companies replied and 4 companies are selected. So all of the hard work is done, and all the companies that you're getting are good quality companies with integrity. So that's done. Additionally, with that, for compaction discounts, it's a 22% to the solid waste. And for recycling products, it's a 10%. So if you're looking at big numbers,
500,000.
and take that's compaction, take 22% off that, you're looking at significant savings. Now, Warwick County is set up with our own Sourcewell account, and solid waste is also set up with our own Sourcewell account. This does fall under, there are 3 IC codes that it falls under: savings to government body, IC 52210-5, government discounts, IC 52210-12, and IC 52210-14, efficiency and economic advantages. So you're well within your IC codes not to bid it out and to use Sourcewell. It's a valuable tool, saving many municipalities lots of money. And the company that holds that is out of Louisville, Municipal Equipment.
Yes.
They would actually come out, they would basically build all of this to your real estate, to your footprint.
Correct.
So
Yep.
that's what I have.
So we spoke with Municipal Equipment. And like Sherry was saying, Renewable, who's right next door, they buy all of their containers and everything through Municipal out of Louisville. Well, one of the senior personnel in the company had stopped at Renewable to just check on them, see how they're doing, is there anything they can do? And he come over to see me. I wasn't there that day, so I got an email from him. When I responded back and called him and talked to him, his family actually owns Municipal Equipment. And he gave me a good background on what they do. They would come out, look at it. He's already starting to work numbers up for me. I don't have them yet, to put what we need, where we need it, and what we need it to do. He said, now, Freddie, when you do this, that's not all you get from us. If you purchase this baler through us, part of it will be, we will come and remove the old baler out. We would install the new baler, set everything up. The only thing that they would ask us to do, if that's what we wanted to do, to help some of the cost, is to have our own electrician there to disconnect the old baler and reconnect the new baler. And everything else they would do. Then within that first year, part of it is they will come back quarterly and they will check to make sure all the filters and everything are working right, all the plugs, everything, that there's everything working the way the machine is supposed to work, free of charge, because it's part of their contract with Sourcewell, 1 year.
So it's, pardon my interruption, but it's essentially an annual maintenance agreement included in your purchase price.
So that first year, that's what they do. We can do it annually after that if we wish, or 1 year, 2 year, whatever. That would be charged to us. But what he said that how they charge for their service visits, they charge by mileage and parts used. That's it. So mileage coming from Louisville to here is still a pretty good ways, but it's like not coming from Chicago, coming from Atlanta or someplace like that. Where it could really be costly. He said for us, the average cost would probably be on today's prices, anywhere from $500 to $700 for a visit. To me, that's relatively cheap from what we paid in the past for working on our equipment already. It's nice having somebody that close that can respond quickly. They are not a small company. They are a major corporation type setup. They travel all over the Midwest and everywhere else. And the other thing as we go through our moving on, as we go down the road, for the solid waste part of the house, we need new containers or something like that. We can still go back to them already being part of their business. Hopefully get some discounts off of those also.
Dale? That's a good service call. Mileage only.
Yes, sir. Mileage
Really,
and whatever
actually,
parts you use.
Pretty unbelievable.
And that's after the 1 year included.
Yep.
Yes.
And you said that you could continue the annual maintenance agreement if you chose.
If we wish, we can extend it for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. But that would be at our cost to them for the service call. But they would keep coming out if that's what we want. They said, if you got somebody that can do it and you want us to come out twice a year just to make sure everything is still intact up to our standards and everything, we can do that too. There's plenty of different options. When he comes out to visit, he wants to sit down and talk to me. It's going to be within the next 2 weeks. And we can go from there.
How much design work are they going to have to do? I mean, not a whole lot.
It's not really a design work. Basically, it's going to be, we have 2 systems that we think would fit your bill.
Yep.
Which one do you wish? And what options or additions do you want? What size motors do you want? That would be the major 3 things that would influence the price.
They're going to have to, do you think they'll have to pour any more concrete?
Sir?
Do you think they're going to have to pour any more concrete or just punch holes in the floor?
I think it'd just be punch holes in the floor. I don't see the need for putting more concrete down.
Okay.
That's why I'm glad he's willing to come out and look at everything.
Yep.
The only options I would ask for it would be what they call a anti-clog. Basically, it's on the inside of the baler where the rams go through. As the first ram is pushing the material toward the second ram, you have that area where, if it, depending on what type it is, like if it's paper and you get more in there than you thought, as it starts pushing, well, it starts rising. And then you have the wall over on the other side of the cutters. Because with our big baler right now, we have several clogs and it takes me about 45 minutes to unclog it. They have this system in there that has your laser beams, I call them, to where they have a solid piece of metal attached to it. And if it senses a clog, it will let that slide down, push the paper or the pile down about 4 to 6 inches so that it gets under the other side, and it just keeps going. That way you're not stopped. You don't have to get in there and get it unclogged and all that good stuff. That would probably be the only specialty I would ask on it and go from there.
So the old machine, they're gonna remove it, but by removing it, they.
Take it out,
dismount.
take it wherever we want it, or if they want to trade it in. Because he asked me the other day, I sent him pictures of it with
Yeah.
serial number and everything. So where we could possibly talk numbers when he comes in.
Okay, that's where I was going. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Decided as a safety.
Because they take them in, they refurbish them, they can resell them somewhere else.
Good deal. So this is just for discussion today, right? We don't need to vote on anything, or do we?
So I think what this is kind of like an alert to the path that they're taking. And I think that the path that they're taking would qualify under the statutory provisions that Sherry had cited. But we don't really know what the final dollar amount is. The guy's going to come and check it out, but they kind of laid out the game plan, so to speak. And I think it's informative in nature.
Thing is, we need to make sure that we have our numbers in, hopefully before the next board meeting. That way we can come back and say, this is exactly what it's going to cost here, here, and here. This is exactly what's going to happen to get your permission. And that way we can encumber the monies before the end of the year and go ahead and get things going. The nice thing is, depending on the style that we wish to go with, he said they do have some that have already been pre-made and setting on the floor. But if they do not fit our bill, then they would have to make it, which is going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Good stuff.
And also, if my memory's right, at the last meeting, they were granted the authority to start the process and look around and see what's going on. So it's, in addition to it, it's being informative. It's also like a status or progress update. So yeah, I think it sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Freddie, did you have something on the handbook as well?
Oh, I brought it up last month that I'm going to be making some updates. I've got it. It's just that with everything else going on, it's going to be a slow process for right now. And then as I get it going, I'll forward it over to Adam for him to look at. And we'll move on.
Very good. Thank you. So Sherry's already on there. She's done her thing. You don't have anything else, do you? Yeah, okay. Council.
So what do I have first? Is it the resolution? Let me pull.
Allen County purchase agreement.
Oh, the Allen County purchase agreement. So at the last meeting, the board approved the purchase of those trailers from Allen County. And you got 2 of them for $5,000 a piece, and they're $10,000 total. The acquisition of the trailers and the price was approved at the last board meeting. But they sent a contract that had some other provisions in here, like a limitation of liability, disclaimer, anti-discrimination clause, E-Verify, which I was a little shocked to see. The dispute, like if we disputed anything in the transaction, we're agreeing to jurisdiction in Allen County, Indiana. I mean, based upon the subject matter of this contract, nothing that they put in here is of any concern. But I did think that it was outside the scope of what the original motion was, because it was trailers for dollars, not trailers for dollars with contingencies. So I thought the board should approve it. I recommend its approval. And in addition to its approval, if a member would make that motion, that would include the fulfillment or completion and execution of the E-Verify affidavit that's attached to the contract that they want signed.
Anyone? Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the purchase contract between us and Allen County as stated by council.
Second.
First and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The next thing that we have listed here is the resolution for selecting the competitive bidding process. We received the bid packet relative to the Phase 2 electrical project in its final form today. And given, as I'd indicated earlier, they had sent us drafts before. I think at least 2 drafts have been sent. And having received one today, I don't feel comfortable with one paragraph that I put in this resolution. I drafted the resolution, but I had drafted in there a paragraph that says attached here to is the final bidding package, which includes documents, schematics, and drawings, and the same is approved and adopted by this board. I would ask that that be stricken out. And then, let's see. So I would, based upon that being removed, I believe that this resolution to be functional without it, but it would also require a separate motion. And so one would be a motion to approve resolution 2025-05 by name and title, or number and title only. It's a resolution of the Warwick County Solid Waste Management District of Warwick County, Indiana, authorizing the use of the Indiana Code Section 5227 competitive bidding method of contracting for the updating of electrical service for the automated single stream material processing system and approving certain matters in connection therewith. So I would recommend approval of that. And then if a board member was inclined to do so, and it was adopted by the board, I would recommend, and I believe it is required, that a board member make the motion that Freddie and I review the bid packet together, and subject to our approval, or the board would approve that bid packet subject to Freddie and I's approval. One, it's going to have the legal aspects that, I can object, make modifications to, or counter propose to the other side. I can handle that. And then there's going to be some design things, or maybe like a shutdown period or schedule that Freddie might have some issues with, that he can share his input with them and try and get it modified to meet our approval. And if it does meet our approval, we should be able to stay within the same time frame that we were aiming for. You didn't get a copy?
No.
Can I see?
Don't give me the one that needs second.
Good. Oh, that's, do you have that one?
Make sure you don't get that one.
Okay. So I need a motion to approve resolution 2025-05 by number and name only.
And also a copy of that was sitting on the sign-in table for review of any public which may have come in and wanted to see it.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And then we need another motion for Freddie and Adam to review the bid packet.
Well, it would be approved, the board approves the bid packet subject to Freddie and I's approval.
Okay.
There you go.
So moved.
Second.
I have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Well, we're just one step closer on the project. Hopefully we'll know more. I do also believe that in an effort to stay on top of the timetable, we need a motion to set a special meeting for November 25th. Now, doesn't necessarily have to be November 25th. We're looking for maybe a plus or minus a day or two there Tracy had indicated she's not available.
I'd be available on the 26th, but not the 25th. So if we're looking at needing a quorum, that's,
Yeah.
I just want to let everybody know that I will be working that day.
Day before Thanksgiving.
I mean, and that's a consideration if anybody's planning on traveling, and maybe the 24th
Yeah,
might be better.
I'm working that day too.
Yeah, so
Those are the last 2 days of the week of Thanksgiving in school. I work those days every year, so we don't have that whole week off.
When we get the meeting set, or just so everybody's aware, the purpose of the meeting is to award the contract. We very well may not be at that point, but we're at least setting the meeting with far enough advance notice that we can publish it and people know that the meeting's going to
Makes
take
sense.
place. And we could always cancel it later.
Phase 2 contract. Is that-
That's correct. It'd be for approval of the, or acceptance of the bid for the Phase 2 project.
Subject to review.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, like there is no binding anything. This would be, Freddie and I meet and we approve the bid packet. The president of the board, according to the resolutions, authorized to issue the bid packet, will notice and advertise the project, and we'll receive bids. Then at that meeting in November, the actual meeting, we open the bids. But then we talk and discuss the contents of the bids, and then we have an award meeting that occurs at the special meeting, which would be the subsequent week. So it could be Monday, it could be Tuesday, Wednesday. We just need to make sure we have enough people available. And Tracy said she's not available on the 25th.
Yeah, I won't be available the 24th or the 25th.
I'm good with any of them, everybody.
So what are we looking at? Does the 26th at noon work? Or does that encroach on people's holidays?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I can do it.
Are you bringing turkey?
I am not bringing turkey. I might bring you some tofu turkey.
Okay, so we need a motion to set a special meeting for the purposes of awarding the bid in the event we would be doing so. November 26, 2025, 12 o'clock noon. The commissioners' meeting room.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
We need we got
That
Tracy.
award the bid or open the bids?
Bids are the previous meeting, the actual October meeting, or I'm sorry, actual November meeting.
So I'll change that back to award, okay?
Yeah, so the opening is the October, sorry, I keep thinking my date or my months are off. The actual November meeting is the opening. And then we set the special meeting the subsequent week for the award after we've had a chance to review and discuss.
I'm okay, thank you.
The 20th, okay.
Okay, I lost track of where we were. Did somebody make a motion?
Yeah, so we have Jim making the motion to set the meeting, Tracy seconded it.
All in
And
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Any other business for the board?
One thing real quick to clarify on the changeover with the small business stuff. So Boonville Country Club wanted a bin back. All right. We could fill that bin up, but we have to bring it to you.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there a cost to bring it to you?
There's not. I actually stopped in there Tuesday to drop my daughter works out there. So I stopped in there to drop her off at work and popped in there and talked to Rick. So when I was there and spoke with him, I gave him a couple different options and different size bins and things that we have that he can utilize. So we had a pretty good conversation. So he's supposed to be getting in touch with me to see what we can work out.
Well, he's been informing the board. I didn't know that you had that meeting, but because we were looking at that, do we want to do that or just, contract with Renewable or somebody to have just regular bins out there that they came and picked up
Right.
or whatever? So,
Yeah, there won't be any cost. They just have to come across the scale, weigh in, run down to Freddie's building. They'll get it unloaded and come
Okay.
back, weigh out, and that's it. There's no charge.
All right. That's all I got.
Thank you. Anyone else?
One more thing. Greg had brought this up to me just before the meeting, so I wanted to, a couple months ago, had got approval from the board to seek, get pricing for HR services. With the reasoning behind doing that is we didn't have a lot of HR support. With the new HR director that has come in and her background in HR and the cost of HR services elsewhere, we are going to stick with where we're at, see how this goes, see where we're at. It's about 200. It's pretty pricey per hour for HR services with her background in HR.
I think it's all settled out.
I think that it will be, it's financially more, it makes more sense to. So Greg had asked me about it before the meeting, so I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Very good. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Just called and said her battery's dead.
Stack
When
of
will you be
signature.
home? Her battery's dead on her car because it hasn't been driven for a week. Her brother-in-law told her, or her brother told her, he said, don't buy the Audi.
Oh, I'm supposed to be in court at 1 o'clock, so.
Think you're late.
Motor mounts.
And I don't have a tie on, so I'm gonna go like,
The same thing didn't seem like it.
I'm gonna go like that. See if I can get away with it.
She bought it used.
Which judge is it?
Stranger. He'll catch me. He always does. Always does.
All right, Freddie, if you have, I mean, obviously.
Your basement line now?
Well, Cody down there, the guy that was in on.
I had him where he went out. I don't know what I did.
Is Terry all the way?
We had a battery on my mother-in-law's car that we just got from them.
Oh, that's restoration. Wait a minute.
Happens, it was bad cell.
That one's a resolution. This one is minutes.
Yeah.
Claims. And Terry,
Sign, don't you?
this one is just you. You've already signed this one, so I shredded it. Well, because I didn't go to the attorney first.
Well, yeah, well, they do their periodic review.
There's one more. That you verified on the back. It doesn't make sense. Well, sort of. For this one,
Terry, and
yes.
that conversation earlier was confidential as far as what we do with that stuff. But I do think it's helpful for you all to know that we use those things. You know, unfortunately, we've used it twice in the last month. Yeah. It just,
Okay.
I know how many
See ya.
runs you guys make. You know, I get reports on that.
Who?
I just don't think people realize.
That
stuff
price
that
was
actually goes
a
on.
little
I mean, they
surprising.
might know.
no.
Just out there doing it.
And, you know,
Okay, okay. That's just Sims Electric.
yeah, we're grossly
I couldn't
underrated.
I could not do what you do.
You know, and I think